Lubbock just a month ago, and we are ready to tip it off here for our final second round game of the day in Kansas City. As Utah, you mentioned it, Andrea, has not played yet in this tournament. Already 7 teams have gone home, and 5 haven't even played yet. So those 4 waiting in the quarterfinals tomorrow, and Utah now getting their first tournament experience. Top of the key, and that's exactly what we expect from Gianna Neepkins.
We expect Utah to spread the floor, be patient, and make the extra pass.
Texas Tech, Shavers and Maupin are the leading scorers for this team. Freelon had a terrific game yesterday in their win over Kansas. Sonogo inside. I mentioned Danae Fritz really set the tone and did a little bit of everything in Texas Tech's win over Kansas.
Texas Tech is more of a dribble drive offense. They pass the ball a little better or a little less well than Utah, and you can see it in this first set.
And a shot clock violation, so a good defensive possession for Utah on their first trip down the court.
And here Texas Tech comes with that full court press, and it's something that they like to do.
As we take a look at the starting lineup, we've talked about Neepkins and her status as all Big 12 first teamer. McQueen and Johnson do a terrific job. Vieta, the point guard, and then Toure inside. A very balanced team that leads the Big 12 in three-pointers made per game, as Utah averages 10 made three-pointers a game.
Also lead the league in a lot of other categories. They're in the top 10 at least, and one of them defensively, they do a terrific job.
4 on the shot clock. Maupin pulls up, too strong, tries to tip it to keep it alive, and it goes into the hands of Vieta. Vieta pushing ahead. Three-pointer goes down for Jenna Johnson.
Yeah, Jenna Johnson, 6'2". She can play inside out, but we touched on it in the open. This Utah offense loves to shoot the 3 ball. They love to spread the floor and make you guard them on the perimeter, and then they can put the ball inside.
Jasmine Shavers, too strong, and a nice rebound for Sonogo. Out to Danae Fritz, and Texas Tech is on the board.
Yeah, kind of a broken play. Good job by Danae Fritz to spot up. She's got such a pretty shot. I mean, we've seen her play at a couple of different stops along the way in the Big 12.
Neepkins is double teamed, and it will be a jump ball possession arrow in favor of Texas Tech. Gavin Peterson, who has been a part of the Utah program for the last 10 years, took over as head coach in November when Lynn Roberts went to the WNBA, and 19-6 in his first season as a head coach.
And he had been with the head coach for 10 years, so the system he knows, the players know him. A pretty easy transition, I think, coming into this season for Utah.
Shot clock under 10 seconds again for Texas Tech. It's happened all 3 of their possessions so far. Maupin trying to muscle it in, and it was too strong off the backboard.
Just a lot of dribbling offensively for Texas Tech without a lot of motion.
Neepkins pulls back for 3. And a foul going to be called on Texas Tech, trying to block out Jenna Johnson. Krista Gerlich in her 5th season at Texas Tech, back at her alma mater after successful coaching stints at Texas Arlington as well as West Texas A&M. They go inside, and a tough move off 1 foot from Toure.
Like that matchup, Toure and Sonogo on the inside. That's one of the reasons why these teams match up so well, because those 2 match up well.
And they're both from France. As Shavers misses the 3.
Might I say, oui, they are both from France.
Toure.
And that's, yeah, absolutely a shot that Toure will take. Again, the 3-pointer, big part of the game for all 5 on the floor for the Utes.
She is a 29% three-point shooter, and Neepkins picks up the foul, her first, for Utah.
Expect Bailey Maupin to be involved in this game as well. We talked about Fritz in the open, but Bailey Maupin, the 5'10 junior, number 20 in black, is a big key to the offensive schemes for Texas Tech.
She averages 13 points a game, right behind Jasmine Shavers, who averages just under 15 points a game. Toure going to work, got it.
Yeah, and with Freelon on her, Toure had the advantage size-wise, and she's got some pretty moves down low. 4 years at Rhode Island. This is her first season at Utah.
And a foul called away from the basketball
Utah foul number 23,
on Madison Wilkie.
That's her first, second team foul.
Madison Wilkie, what a way to end the regular season as she hit the half-court shot in overtime that had Utah beating BYU, their rival, in the last regular season game. It was a game-winning half-court shot in overtime.
And I hate to tell you, but I think the word rival doesn't even define the history between those two programs.
Knocked out of bounds by Freelon. And a couple of substitutes coming in, Logan Johnson and Maya Pete for Texas Tech. Maya Pete had a terrific game in the win over Kansas as she scored 8 points and had a couple of rebounds. Very efficient, 4 of 5 from the floor. Neepkins comes around the screen, off to Toure. No, and Pete cleans up the rebound.
Pretty offense, just couldn't finish right there.
Danae Fritz helped lead Iowa State to a championship a couple of years ago. She played for Baylor last year, but was injured for most of the time late in the season. As again, the shot clock is winding down for the Lady Raiders. Maupin rises. And a good rebound by Kennedy McQueen, but Maupin there to get it back. Over to Pete, misses the layup. And what a great opportunity missed for Texas Tech.
They are working hard to try to get shots. Texas Tech is. Nothing easy for them at the moment.
Neepkins, no. But she comes back in bounds and grabs the basketball with the extra hustle play. And still not able to score.
A great toughness by Texas Tech on that play down low.
Toure picks up the foul. Away from the ball, Kyla Freelon was trying to post up on the block. Texas Tech will have the basketball.
Time number 3, Notre Dame. They're tough.
And they've won 9 of their last 11. They're currently projected out of the timeout. We see the basket from Logan Johnson. The Utah is currently projected to be a 7 seed in the NCAA tournament. They've been to the last 3 tournaments in a row and have gotten a win in each of those NCAA tournaments. Jenna Johnson splashes home a 3. She had a season high 20 points at Texas Tech earlier this year.
She does a great job right there of relocating on the dribble penetration. Moving without the basketball.
Bailey Maupin.
Texas Tech struggling. They are 2 for 12 field goals here in this first quarter.
Bristow goes inside to Pete. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Somebody needs to get it up. Shavers scores it.
I'll tell you what, you can tell when the ball is going in when she has it in her hands and when she keeps her balance on her shot, doesn't get into too much traffic. Shavers can score.
She had 11 points in the win over Kansas last night. Johnson tries again. She's already hit a couple of 3-pointers. There's Bailey Maupin, who averages about 13 points a game, was selected all Big 12 honorable mention this year as a junior. Bristow. And Jenna Johnson with the rebound. Senior out of Medina. Minnesota. Picks up her dribble. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Utah off to a good start. The 11-7 lead for the Utes. And a whistle and a foul.
Utah does a great job of reversing the basketball. What does that mean? They take the ball from one side of the court to the other side of the court in order to make the defense shift. And then they're able to get those drives to the basket without as much help as they might have had in the first side of the floor.
Ross at the line shooting 2.
So Reese Ross, the 6'1" sophomore from Rapid City, South Dakota, at the free throw line. She makes the first. A 66% free throw shooter on the year. And she makes both.
I'd like to see a little bit more tempo with Tech's offense here. They do a lot of dribbling and don't really go very far.
And they threw it away that time. They've let the shot clock run down almost every possession. That time Maupin throws it away.
It just feels like so many of their offenses are initiated with a screen on the ball or a dribble situation rather than a pass and a cut. Jada Wynn coming in for Texas Tech, number 24. She can certainly stretch the defense.
Brooke Walker into the game, the 5'9" freshman from Andover, Kansas, number 3 for Utah. McQueen can't get that one to drop. Maupin from the corner. Splashes that one home. And Bailey Maupin on the scoreboard.
And that's something she can do. Really likes to create with the dribble, but she is deadly from outside. We talked about Maupin too, about her percentages yesterday. Her shooting percentages don't show you a lot, but it's fool's gold to leave her open.
Yeah, just 28% from three-point range, but has been a better shooter than that from distance in her career. She had 12 points in the win over Kansas and some really clutch free throws down the stretch. Made all 4 free throws late in the game. Shot clock under 10 again for the Lady Raiders. Maupin pulls it out. 4 rises up. And a foul going to be called on Jada Wynn as she went for the rebound.
Looked like Ross did a nice job of holding off Wynn right there. Not sure how big of a push it was. There's an art. Just saying, there's an art to having fouls called sometimes. You would know about that.
I was going to say, I know that you know about that.
Again, this press not really bothering Utah that well. I think they just are tall overall, and they can pass over the top of it, and they have a lot of ball handlers.
Shot clock is off. Neepkins with the ball in her hands. Such a creator with the basketball. McQueen, 4 seconds left in the quarter. Do they realize it? Backdoor, and it is blocked by Freelon. So Utah able to hold on.
Number of shots above the rim, that will give you the way, their style of basketball. And this is something that Utah has done for about the past 5 years, changed their style of play. It's more fun for the players. They've looked at analytics. They've had more success. They're trying to build a program at Utah that can get to a Final Four. So they've been to a Sweet 16. They'd like to make it to an Elite 8. And the style of play is a big part of that. Sharing the ball, the type of shot they take. I'd like to say more, but I don't know more.
Well, they make 10 three-pointers a game, and then we saw out of the timeout, Maye Torre scored in the paint. So just to your point, either shots in the paint or shots from three-point range are what you typically see from Utah.
Yeah, and if you look at the statistics right now on Stat Broadcast, 9 of their shots have been from 3, which is 60% of the shots they've taken today.
Walker into the paint, and this time it is blocked. by Sonogo.
Really welcome and Maya Pete, both check back to
Sonogo
the
gets
check.
replaced by Maya Pete. So you've got Shavers, Maupin, Fritz, Pete, and Wynn on the floor for Texas Tech. We're in the second quarter. The winner of this game will advance to play the number 3 seed Oklahoma State in the quarterfinals tomorrow.
5 on the shot clock.
Vieta out to Toure.
Nice box out right there by Texas Tech. That's tough to box out. You defend that long, and then with a long shot like that, it is very difficult to find your person and get a body on him.
And Danae Fritz comes away with a rebound. She's got 4 already. Such a great rebounding guard for Texas Tech. And Shavers gets her first 3-point shot to go in. She's got 5 points on the night.
When Shavers gains confidence early, that's such a good thing for Texas Tech. Get her involved as much as possible in the offense.
Utah with just a 2-point lead now. They led by as many as 6 when they were up 13-7. A foul called on Jada Wynn. Her second foul.
This is one of the advantages, really, for both of these teams. Both of them have good benches, so they can bring people in, have substitutions, especially in a tournament like this, get new, fresh bodies on the floor.
So 3 new players in for Utah. Neepkins uses the screen from Toure. He squares up, takes it at Pete. What a nice move.
Really, really pretty, and good offense against this Texas Tech defense. They're trying to keep a foot in the lane so that they can help on a play like that, and just very effective offense.
Nice bounce pass to set up the score inside for Freelon.
Come on, Freelon, she's so good. Like, listen, this isn't a player that's probably gonna play at the next level or anything, but she gets the most out of her skill and talent.
And her numbers aren't necessarily huge, but she seems to always be around the basketball.
Yep.
Shavers pulls up. This time rebounded by Jenna Johnson, who out in front to Toure all by herself.
I was waiting for you to point. Terrific job of running the floor by Toure.
8 points now for the grad student who transferred from Rhode Island. Maupin, got it.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things with Utah right now, they're subbing players in, but I'm not sure if they're aware of personnel. And if you need to get a hand in the face of Maupin and of Shavers, you can really shoot the ball as well as Fritz.
So Maupin already with a couple of 3-pointers for Texas Tech. Neepkin seemed to be bumped on that shot, but no call.
And a rare tough 2.
Trying for the backdoor pass, but Toure too long to pass over. McQueen, Toure, and to Neepkins. Neepkins now 1 of 5 overall, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. She's got 3 points.
Good patient offense here by Texas Tech. Shot clock down to 5.
They go inside to Pete, who powers it up, and Texas Tech takes its first lead of the game.
Yeah, really well matched on the interior of these two teams. It's fun to watch their posts go to work, their exterior play, and their shooting.
And these two met back on February 5th in Lubbock. It was the first time these two programs had met, as Jenna Johnson spins and gives Utah the lead back. Again, it was Utah winning 70-64 in Lubbock. Excuse me, it was the first time they'd met since 1993, so they had met before that, but it had been a lot of years and before anybody on either of these teams was born. And Shavers.
I was wondering where you were going.
It was actually the year that the Texas Tech program won a national championship.
Very good.
And Krista Gerlich, the head coach for Texas Tech, was part of that team, coached by Marcia Sharp. Fritz from the corner. Freelon there with the rebound. Shavers, little in and out move. It was a great move. She just couldn't finish it.
Utah continues to push pace, get some opportunities in the fast break.
And a foul on the floor on the blockout attempt. Back and forth game. Texas Tech has gained the lead by
Experienced group, which is what you want this time of year.
Touré joins that group, but she is a fifth-year player, but a transfer from Rhode Island where she spent 4 years.
What a great pickup. She is a perfect fit for this style of play.
And the shot clock is winding down once again. It bounces on the sideline, so 3.7 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Gianna Neepkins made the first field goal for Utah, but 0 for 4 since. And Johnson doesn't connect with the rim, and it's a shot clock violation.
Let's see what Texas Tech can do down here. It just feels like they have to work so hard for the baskets they've had this quarter. They got a 2-point lead.
Texas Tech started 1 for 11, but they're 8 of their last 13. And Texas Tech will retain possession.
And they played hard like this yesterday against Kansas. They did a terrific job, I think, of battling that team.
Texas Tech finished in a 3-way tie for 12th place in the Big 12 and ended up with the 14 seed. But they had a stretch of games in February that were all single-digit losses. So they had a stretch where they lost 9 in a row, but they were in most of those games. And you see them coming together, playing their best basketball right now. Again, 6 to shoot. Beautiful pass. Really nice pass to set up Sonogo.
Yeah, Blacklock came in yesterday and made a couple of great plays as well. That was a terrific look for her down low.
Over the top to Vieta. Steps back for the 3. Touré can't grab it. And here comes Blacklock to mop it. Bristow from the corner. And Touré tracking it down.
If you like three-pointers, this is the game to be watching today.
Neepkins missing again, though, from three-point range, but Jenna Johnson there to get it. Touré can't finish in the paint. And make sure you stick around. Coming up at halftime, Madison Hawk and Rachel Galligan will be back with the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship halftime report.
Both of these teams, half of their shots have been threes, and that one for Bristol. Bristow, she makes it. That is a terrific look, and that's another transfer that's a great pickup for Texas Tech.
Jalen Bristow, a transfer from Iowa State, gives Texas Tech their largest lead of the game. Texas Tech on an 8-0 run right now. So the winner of this game will play Oklahoma State, the number 3 seed on the season. The head coach is J.C. Hoyt, and she will be joining Madison and Rachel at halftime, as they are just hanging out there on the end of the court, just waiting for us to get to halftime. As Gavin Peterson had to call a timeout to stop the run for Texas Tech. Texas Tech got down by as many as 6 points early, but then came back. And so what have they done to solve this Utah defense?
Well, I think they found a quintet that they can put in there, and they've made some plays. I found that Bristol, every time, or Blacklock, every time she comes in the game for Tech, yesterday and today, she's made an impact. We saw Bristow with that three-pointer. Sometimes it's just about finding the right five that can play well together.
And on the other end, Utah's missed their last 8 three-pointers. And keep in mind, Texas Tech is really good at defending the three-point shot as it gets knocked out of bounds, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Texas Tech has had a couple of games this year where they have shut out their opponents from hitting threes,
including Iowa State,
breaking that incredible record of 945 games in a row where they'd hit at least 1 3, and Texas Tech stopped that record. Shot clock winding down. Neepkins misses that one as well. That's 9 in a row misses for Utah from 3, and they get the offensive rebound and put back there. Good hustle play.
Yeah, they really needed that. A good job of hitting the boards offensively.
Samantha Crisp into the game, hit that on the pass from Neepkins.
It is a very slow progressing offense for Texas Tech.
A pass ahead to Vieta, who has it tipped and knocked out of bounds by Bailey Maupin. Bailey Maupin has kind of a, sometimes you don't anticipate how long she is. Absolutely. And how she is able to get her hands on the basketball.
And just terrific awareness. It's absolutely true. And she's such a leaper. I love the story about how she learned to jump when she was growing up with her dad in the kitchen. He attached something to the ceiling and would require her actually to practice jumping. I mean, how many kids do that growing up?
Mm-hmm. And then she also grew up on a farm and had to get up very early in the morning to do a lot of chores as well.
Makes for a hard worker. 9 on the shot clock.
Bristow is reached in by Samantha Crisp. So they'll reset the shot clock to 30. There'll just be a 2-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. I'm sorry, they're resetting it to 20, so there's a 12-second difference.
Either way, it's helpful because the shot clock was running down. It was at 9 when the foul occurred. Gives Texas Tech another opportunity here to get set.
Shavers leading the way for Texas Tech with 8 points. Maupin has 6. Pulls up, jumper, tough shot, and one opportunity for Bailey Maupin.
That whole play was Bailey Maupin from the time she took the ball at the top of the key to the time she drove in. And here's where you see that leaping ability, her ability to elevate over smaller defenders, score in the paint. It's just a pretty look. You know who used to shoot like that back in the day is Cheryl Miller. She had that reverse pivot look, and then that high release. Was a terrific leaper.
You were talking about Bailey Maupin and her jumping at home. You know, she was a state champion in the high jump in the state of Texas, out of Groover, Texas. Also was a triple jumper as well, so that's part of her hops. Shot clock is turned off. Utah, after a great start, has gone cold.
Almost a travel.
5 seconds remaining. They try to go in, stolen away by Texas Tech. And the Lady Raiders, after the victory in the first round against the Kansas Jayhawks, but 0 for their last 10. So this is a team in Utah that shoots 37% from three-point range. They make 10 three-pointers per game, but they were held to just 3 of 15 in the first half. We're starting the third quarter here in Kansas City. Texas Tech with the 8-point lead. And once again, like we saw most of the first half, Texas Tech using most of the shot clock, and then an offensive foul called on Shavers. And that's her first.
And here Texas Tech comes again with that three-quarter court trapping press man-to-man, trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Vieda.
Utah earned the 6th seed here in the Big 12 championship. Last year in the Pac-12 tournament, they were also the 6th seed. They lost to UCLA in the quarterfinals. And it is blocked by Freelon, but she commits the foul, and it will send Johnson to the free throw line.
Well, if you're Utah right now, you really need to begin to play with a little bit more pace in my mind. Don't turn the ball over. That was a nice play to get the ball inside. Has to be a bit of a sense of urgency without being panicked.
And Johnson misses the free throw. You showed us that shooting chart earlier in the game. Utah likes to shoot in the paint or from three-point range. So if your three-point shot's not going down, that's what we're seeing Utah get into the paint here early in the quarter.
Absolutely. And that's where Toure, I thought, was effective in that second quarter. She had 6 points in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. And here's a steal. I think this is another way that Utah can get into the game with Vieda. She is really, really quick defensively.
And Texas Tech, that's their Achilles heel, is taking care of the basketball. They average over 18 turnovers per game. As Niepken says, I don't care if we've missed the last 10 three-pointers in a row, I'm still going to shoot it up, and she connects to draw within 4.
And that's part of the Utah DNA, is having a short memory. If you are going to be a shooting team, you cannot think about the misses. You have to trust in your work you put in and know that you can make the next one.
Sanogo off to Bailey Maupin. Bailey Maupin had a nice first half. She tries to go into Sanogo and then throws it away.
Utah very precise in how, look at the spacing they have here. And they do a terrific job of screening, forcing you to help a little bit off on another player, and they just need a slight opening. And again, defensively, I like it when Logan Johnson comes in. This is a young lady that, as a sophomore, we have seen growth from her. She is very powerful in her ability to get to the rim and create havoc defensively. Is an important part of the bench play that comes in for Texas Tech.
She's strong and scrappy and just provides a good presence for Texas Tech.
Well, and she's D-minded, which there's not a lot of people on Texas Tech team that are primarily D-minded. She is.
Johnson just takes it in and scores it over Kennedy McQueen. You like that?
I do. I like her taking contact, making something happen.
Kicked out of bounds by Freelon, but Texas Tech trying to bring the pressure defense in the backcourt. But let's watch again. Oh, here we go with Logan Johnson driving into the paint that last play.
Yeah, just watch the contact she's able to take. And a little bit of what we saw in the game prior to this also is a player a little more powerful right there than McQueen, and able to just back her down to the basket.
Kind of like Addie Brown in that last game.
Yeah, she just did it over and over again. And if you're not accustomed to playing defense in the post, it's kind of hard to learn on the fly how to hold your ground in those situations.
Addie Brown with 41 points for Iowa State as another turnover for Utah. But congratulations to Iowa State for moving ahead in the bracket. They'll play Baylor tomorrow night. What a game for Addie Brown, who scored 41 points. It's the third most scored in a Big 12 tournament game.
9 on the shot clock again.
Fritz. And boy, it looked like it had gotten away from Sanogo, but she stayed with it and scored.
Texas Tech has a lot of confidence right now as well. A lot more energy really than Utah, even though Utah has hit a shot or two here.
Candy McQueen over to Johnson. Niepken backdoor cut, beautiful pass.
And that was just better pace right there for Utah. They did a good job of using almost the energy of Texas Tech in their favor. And they were able to use the ball, and just watch the overplay right there on defense, cut back door. And that all happened because of a quick pace and ball reversal.
And Sanogo ended up picking up the foul, so Neepkins will go to the free throw line.
She's okay at the free throw line.
Yes, she is. #1 in the Big 12 with almost 91%. She's got 9 points to lead the way, along with Jenna Johnson with 9 points for Utah.
Just a 5-point game right now.
And a whistle.
Again, that's Logan Johnson with the ball in her hands, using that powerful body of hers.
So Neepkins picks up the foul. It's her second, and that will send Logan Johnson to the free throw line. In high school, she won back-to-back 4A state champions, excuse me, in 22 and 23. Back-to-back large private school player of the year. Her brother Nick played basketball at University of Texas, Arlington.
She was a great recruit pickup, 4-star athlete out of high school. Tremendous, tremendous upside.
5'10" sophomore.
Well, let's see if Utah right here. That's an illegal screen.
Toure picked up that foul. That's her second.
I didn't see it because I wasn't looking, but it looked like a DHO dribble handoff right there. And you have to be really careful when you're doing that in the game these days. Officials are attuned to it. Once you turn your body into the player trying to come through and defend, it's a no-no. Also known as a foul.
Logan Johnson banks it in.
You know, I think I might, if I were defending her, make her go left 1 or 2 times. She's gone right the last 3 times, and Texas Tech, every time they score, are able to put this press on.
Sanogo almost got a steal, but Utah has a 2-on-1 and throws it away. Neepkins had Toure out in front and threw it away.
And here we go again with Johnson putting the ball on the floor and just able to score through contact right here. And that energy that Texas Tech has right now, the momentum they have, that has to be concerning for Utah.
As you mentioned, Texas Tech won just 4 games in Big 12 play as Danae Fritz scores and will go to the free throw line.
You know what? Both ends of the floor, I thought poor decisions. So poor decisions by Utah to make the pass before. And right here, if you're going to go up and foul, just make sure that Fritz doesn't get the ball off for the shot. I know right there that Toure was trying to stay out of the way and not pick up a foul. You got it, use it.
So Toure picked up her 3rd foul, and Danae Fritz will complete the 3-point play to put Texas Tech up by 10. It's their largest lead of the game.
These passes for Utah are very slow getting down the floor. Because Texas Tech has some length and quickness defensively, they are able to make crisp passes, get easy looks.
Neepkins comes off the screen, defended by Maupin, changes speed, and it's stolen away. And Neepkins maybe unfortunate she didn't get called for a foul as she reached up to grab Maupin as she stepped over the top. Fritz from the corner. So frustrating for this team because they were within single digits, oftentimes within a possession or 2 of a lot of those games. And coming into this one, Texas Tech started 1 of 11 from the field. Since then, they've shot 70%, 16 of 23.
Well, let's see if Utah can find some fire here. You know, you look at Texas Tech after those plays, and you can see their personality. Shot clock running down, 5 on the shot clock.
Neepkins, tough shot from Gianna Neepkins. And we're going to take a break. Neepkins will be at the free.
Destiny, and that net of 23 is a terrific number for Utah. Their win against Notre Dame early in the season, that is a terrific win. But you just really hate to see them down in this game and not able to come away with the win when you want to have a good resume for the NCAA tournament.
So Neepkins with a rare missed free throw as she's the top free throw shooter in the Big 12 with 91% efficiency. But another miss for Utah. Here's the numbers we were talking about earlier. They started off very cold, 1 of 11, but since then, 16 of 23, make that 17 of 24 with a beautiful pass from Maupin to set up Sanogo.
Just a breakdown defensively right there for Utah, and not one that they can really afford to have. Wilkie, great move right there to the basket.
Just those high percentage shots. Utah needs more of those, and now to get some stops on this end.
Well, they're such a measured team, right? Out there on the floor, you don't see a lot of emotion from Utah, nor do you see it from the bench with their coaching staff. On the flip side, Texas Tech has all of this emotion they're bringing to the game right now, and I'm just curious what Utah is going to do to bring some emotion here.
Getting a hand on the ball with the Utah defense, and a nice finish.
There's some emotion right there.
Reese Ross with the steal. She deflected it, and then she was the recipient of the pass on this end.
Yeah, we have seen such versatility from Jenna Johnson as we see a terrific pass here. But look at the finish, something that Utah works on. And we talked about emotion. How about Jenna Johnson bringing a little? And that's a real fist bump, or a chest bump right there.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, it was Ross. My bad. I am so sorry. So everything I just said, apply that to Ross.
Exactly. She got the deflection, and she received the pass to finish it, and she completes the three-point play.
You just need to punch me when I do that. Don't like
I was trying to signal to you. Ross has 5 points.
Well, she's one of those players that gets 15 to 20 minutes a game coming in off the bench. You see right now some intensity on her face.
Maupin, a little wild with the shot, but Sanogo is there to clean it up.
Yeah, you got to drop in from the weak side on a penetration like that and rebound the basketball if you're Utah.
Wilkie off to Neepkins. Neepkins in that game where they won in overtime over BYU had 20 points. She had 18 in the second half and overtime, Neepkins. And then a foul on the floor.
Good job by McQueen hitting the offensive boards right there.
Fritz picked up the foul. That's her first. As you see, Adley Blacklock coming into the game, the 6-foot junior from Lubbock, Texas, as Danae Fritz will take a break. Kennedy McQueen, who, as you would imagine, has a nickname of Lightning. At first she didn't like it, but she has since embraced it and actually has a little lightning bolt tattoo on her hand.
She has been a tremendous player for Utah for 5 seasons, and dependable, terrific defender, terrific shooter. And her mom played for Elaine Elliott.
Yeah, how about that? We love that.
Yes.
Elaine Elliott, the longtime, very successful coach at Utah. 6 on the shot clock. Wynn steps back. Top of the key, got it. Beautiful shot by Madison Wilkie as she came off the screen.
And a set play right there from the coach calling it on the sideline. Beautifully executed by Utah.
So Texas Tech had a lead as much as 13 in this game, and it has been cut down to 5. Johnson with an explosive move along the baseline, gets her own rebound, and is fouled on the shot.
just the spacing on this possession, and watch the back screen, and then the screener comes off, and they are able to knock down the shot right there without hesitation.
Logan Johnson at the line shooting 2.
So it was the first foul on Kennedy McQueen. Logan Johnson is now 0 for 3 from the free throw line, a 50% free throw shooter on the season. And she connects on that one.
See if Utah can have some crisper passes as they get the ball up the floor here. I really feel like they have some opportunities potentially to maybe get some easy looks against this full court press. They haven't had many. Again, great offense. Look at the spacing they have. Screens on the ball, all kinds of room in the paint.
7 to shoot. Neepkins lets it fly, and it's tied up. It will stay on this end of the court, so a good hustle play to get an extra possession.
Wilkie is always willing to get her nose in there, and that's a terrific job of pursuing the basketball after that shot.
And they're going to send the teams to their respective benches so the officials can take a look at that.
The previous play is under review for a potential timing error.
So you have been reset, and so they got that corrected. 4.1 seconds remaining for Utah. Neepkins, shot clock winding down, throws it up, gets the rim. Fritz battling, and a kick called on Utah, so it will be Texas Tech basketball.
That was a pretty good look right there by Neepkins, who had to throw it up.
So they are actually saying no, it was a kick on Texas Tech. And I believe it will be Utah basketball.
And shot clock will be at 20 right now. Game clock at 35.7. They've been running this horns set quite a bit here the last couple times down. Got to get another good look right there for Neepkins.
Shot clock is turned off for Texas Tech.
Finally.
And Danae Fritz will set the play. Fritz turning, backdoor cut by Maupin. Yeah, and it went off Maupin's leg.
I thought it was a kick by Utah, maybe not on purpose, but that it hit the foot of a Utah player, of McQueen. Utah gonna bring everybody up here in hopes of being able to throw something long, maybe.
Neepkins will heave it at the buzzer, and no. As we go to the fourth quarter of play, Texas Tech hanging on to the girls, beat both these teams in the regular season. However, they were both very close games. Texas Tech only lost by 3 points to Oklahoma State, and Utah lost by 4. As Texas Tech has the first possession of the fourth quarter, Shavers and Maupin, neither one scored in the third quarter.
It was Fritz Sanogo and Logan Johnson who had all of the points for Texas Tech in that third quarter.
3 on the shot clock. Maupin rises up. What a tough shot! A rainbow to splash that one in.
Yeah, she heard us talking about her. That was a terrific look right there. And again, rising over the defense.
Texas Tech was 7 of 10 in the third quarter, very efficient. However, they had 6 turnovers in the quarter, and Utah outscored them by 2. Again, the shot clock winding down, 4 seconds. Vieta, and Maupin skying high. There's that high jumping ability. As Maupin looks over at Krista Gerlich for the play call.
And it seems like Texas Tech very comfortable right now with this lead, using time, has some confidence, starting to believe.
Throwing inside to Pete, and then Pete is fouled by Neepkins. She can't believe it.
Texas Tech, I think, has done a really nice job in the second half of penetrating and finding their bigs. Maupin, we said, was scoreless in the third. It's a huge basket with the shot clock running down. There's that foul.
And Neepkins thought she got away with the ball cleanly, but she goes to the bench with 3 fouls, and Maya Pete, the only senior on this team, a grad student who transferred from University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. She makes both free throws and puts Texas Tech back up by 10.
Yeah, going to work inside. I like that look. Toure does a terrific job of seeing the floor, passing when she needs to, making shots inside. She doesn't get a lot of touches.
Vieta knocks the ball out of bounds.
Again, nice patience here, feeding the post, and look at this backdoor cut. Just falling asleep on the job is Freelon defensively.
And a beautiful pass. Freelon will check out and be replaced by Jalen Bristow. Nice pass to Shavers. Inversion of the guards there as Pete goes high-low to Jasmine Shavers.
I just think Texas Tech has gained more and more confidence as this game has gone on. Icing that screen right here.
McQueen off the mark, and it's tied up. It will stay on this hit. No, instead it's called a foul on number 20, Reese Ross. Her second foul. So I mentioned several times that 9-game losing streak that Texas Tech went on, but it's what happened after that that gave Texas Tech some momentum coming in here to Kansas City. They had a big overtime victory over Colorado to finish the regular season. They got the victory over Kansas in the first round as Jalen Bristow pops a three-pointer. And now they are playing with some confidence and their largest lead of the game with a 14-point advantage over Utah.
Yeah, pretty take. Utah really needed that one, and Ross makes another big play. But I'll tell you what, the last couple times down the floor, Texas Tech has executed really well in their quarter court offense.
Yeah, Pete has been at that high post, has made some nice passes. Vieta denying the ball. Maupin.
You got to give your big girl the ball right there. A little earlier, maybe.
And it gets poked away from behind by Toure.
Good job by Johnson to pick up Neepkins so she couldn't make that pass down the floor.
Three-pointer goes in for Madison Wilkie.
That's a big basket. And the thing that's scary about Utah is their ability to knock down the threes and get on fire with the three ball is always a concern.
Yeah, anytime you have that weapon of great three-point shooting, you're never out of a ball game.
I guess I could say a concern for the opposing team.
And a foul called. Krista Gerlich could see that her team was in trouble. She was trying to call a timeout, but instead a foul was called on Bristow.
Yeah, and I like that look right there because again, against the full court press, you have the opportunity to get the ball up the floor quickly and maybe not have to go against this Texas Tech defense, which has been pretty effective.
Wilkie missing that time.
Vieta has been on Maupin all day long, and she is a terrific defender. She is very quick, great hands, but Maupin has handled that pressure, and that's one of the things with her this year at point guard. Maupin has done a great job of wanting to be in that position and handle the ball.
Yeah, she wasn't really recruited to be a point guard, but she got pushed into that role, and now she is thriving in it. As she is fouled driving to the basket, she will go to the free throw line. It's the 4th foul on Toure.
Well, I think Maupin, even though last season she didn't really appreciate playing point guard because there was a lot of pressure and she wasn't used to it, when she came into this year, she was like, well, wait, I get to have the ball in my hands all the time. I like that.
Well, she has averaged double figures each of her years at Texas Tech. She was a freshman and averaged just over 10 points a game. As a sophomore, just over 14. And this season, right around 13 points per game coming into the tournament.
And she is a Texas Tech Red Raider through and through. Parents, grandparents, all went to Texas Tech. She is a West Texas kid made out of that mold, hard work, confidence.
And she pushes the lead back to 11.
Utah needs to string together a couple of good offensive sets here.
Neepkins.
Good job boxing out. Again, no offensive boards really per se. Toure came in there trying to get her hand on it, but nobody else hitting the offensive boards.
Wynn picks up her dribble, waits for Danae Fritz. Fritz being pounded by Kennedy McQueen.
I don't know how many times we've said this, but shot clock at 6 again for Texas Tech.
Wynn is in trouble. She's got to throw it up at the basket and doesn't hit the rim. Vieta.
Icing the screen again. A little bit of a dribble handoff. A little bit of pace to the offense this time.
Neepkins.
Nice.
Little 2-player game with Maye, Toure, and one.
That's a...
But Utah, you mentioned it, Andrea, as good as they shoot the 3, never out of a ball game.
Absolutely, and I know the first time these two teams met, there were some metrics that Krista Gerlich talked about with her team in order to defend Utah, and it was really important to keep them under 70 points. And they have really done a good job defensively today, and they are far from 70 points. Utah averaging 77 points a game, usually a high-scoring team.
Johnson going to take it at Neepkins. And then an offensive foul called on Shavers. That's her second.
I'm doing these body motions right now because I want to see some pace from Utah. Some confidence with their passing. Well-executed plays here. They have that ability. It's just a matter of timing and a little bit of urgency.
Johnson lines up for a 3, and Johnson had some 3-pointers early and has not been able to connect as of late.
Wilkie in the middle of a play again. She is just hustling after those O boards, giving her team second opportunities here, extra opportunities.
Utah led by Neepkins with 11 and Toure with 10. 3.5 to go. Neepkins missing, and this time Freelon commits the foul as Neepkins tries for a second attempt.
Yeah, Freelon the first time did a great job of staying straight up, and the second time just couldn't help herself and leaned her wrist over the top.
They actually called it on Maupin. Oh, her first foul. I was with you. I thought Freelon had fouled as Neepkins makes the first free throw.
Well, thank you for correcting me again.
And she gets both.
And that's one way, I think, if you're struggling to score, get to the free throw line somehow. And Utah are terrific free throw shooters. Every one of their players, for the most part.
76% as a team. They're number 2 in the Big 12. Danae Fritz, that's a huge three-pointer for the Lady Raiders.
Yeah, Utah trying to press and just lost a couple of players in the backcourt, and Texas Tech taking advantage of that.
And a double dribble called on Kennedy McQueen. It's great defense from Texas Tech.
Exactly. I was just about to say that again. Texas Tech has done a terrific job with the screens on the basketball, fighting over the screens, having help side. And here's a long pass. We have seen this from Texas Tech. Freelon is so good in the open floor.
Ooh, I thought Freelon got shoved in the back and no call.
She beat the officials down there too.
The Texas Tech team able to get an offensive rebound. This is the 4th game of the season where Texas Tech has 10 or more three-pointers. That they are 10 of 20 from beyond the arc. Again, the shot clock winding down. Maupin just puts her head down. And a great rebound by Logan Johnson as she was fouled on the rebound attempt.
And Texas Tech, they have been into this game throughout the game, but more so even in the second half. They can taste it right now. A little bit of an upset here with Utah if they can come away with a win. So one thing I've noticed with Texas Tech this year, they really, really want it. And it's not just a matter of like saying it. They have come together. Coach Gerlich has done a terrific job with this young group, only one senior. Good leadership from Fritz has been a great addition, I think, for Texas Tech.
Seven to shoot. Shavers looking. Johnson between 2 defenders.
Wow.
Doesn't hit the rim, and they play on. Neepkins gonna try to make something happen in traffic. She's going through 2 defenders. She scores it and is fouled. That is just sheer grit and determination from Gianna Neepkins.
Well, this is a good play without the officials calling the 30-second, the shot clock violation right there, but that's just a lot of want-to right there. Neepkins great, I think. She does a good job protecting the basketball, and that's what you need from your leader right now when you were down at the time by 10, cutting into this lead.
And she completes the three-point play.
7-point game, 2 minutes left here. And a lot of urgency, as you see, together for a long time. Don't have to do a lot of talking.
Wilkie to Neepkins. Neepkins puts the ball on the floor, just attacks, and it does everything but roll in. She somehow gets the rebound. It's a jump ball, and it will go Texas Tech direction. What a tough circumstance for Utah.
And this is just a great drive. We have seen this from Neepkins the last few minutes of the game where she has just put her head down and can't get that one to go. Look how she sticks with it there. I mean, 1, 2. Just a full run around the sun there.
Shavers. Maupin gets it over the timeline. Under a minute and a half to play.
7-point game.
And a foul called on Reese Ross. That's the 5th team foul, so Bailey Maupin will go to the free throw line.
And Maupin is such an excellent free throw shooter, especially late game. I think she's one of those clutch players that wants to be at the line.
She's a 79% free throw shooter on the season. And she drains that one. She had 4 critical free throws in the win over Kansas in the last 30 seconds last night. And with that free throw, she's 5 of 5 from the line, and she stretches the lead back to 9.
Got to go if you're Utah. Texas Tech switching everything. They have a lot of versatility on the floor.
Wilkie, too strong, into the hands of Neepkins, who gets it. That's her 3rd three-pointer of the game, and she draws this Utah squad within 6.
And that's a foul right there. Looks like it might be on Wilkie, just incidental contact with Maupin, who will then walk down to the other end and get some more free throws.
So Wilkie picks up her 2nd foul. The Utes are actually 14-1 in games where Gianna Neepkins hits 3 three-pointers in a game. She just hit her 3rd, so they usually win in that circumstance. They still have a chance, but Bailey Maupin is not the person you want to have at the free throw line if you're Utah.
Both of these teams right now playing with their small lineup, so pretty much a 5-guard lineup or a very versatile lineup. Even though Freelan is not a guard, she can jump out and switch defensively on everything.
8-point lead for Texas Tech.
Great switch.
And Maupin comes over and draws the offensive foul on Neepkins.
That's just a savvy play by Maupin. She had to switch out, was originally guarding the player that was making the play, but Neepkins likes to go right, and we've seen this multiple times from her. Maupin just anticipates it, takes the charge.
And you could see that was a great angle from our crew, because as she turned, she thought she had an open lane, and at the very last minute, she sees Maupin, and you just see that look on her face that she was surprised that Maupin was there.
Yeah, frustrating game. Neepkins has played so hard today. She's been a tremendous leader. Again, one of the 4-year players. Didn't play last year, injured her foot. Was able to come back and be pretty much at full strength here, I think.
She was named the Big 12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. She has a 3.9 GPA in health and kinesiology. But it's been a frustrating night at times in this 2nd round. She's got 4 fouls, so they are taking her out on the defensive end to not pick up that 5th foul. And Texas Tech advances to the front court and will try to inbound it. 50.5 seconds remaining.
And this is where they look to Maupin all the time to catch the basketball. They isolate her, let her handle the ball, try to get fouled and get back to the free throw line.
And you could just tell Maupin wanted the ball in her hands, and she worked hard to get it and to control it, so she has a chance to go to the free throw line. So Neepkins checks back in with the 4 fouls. They took her out on defense, but she is back in for Utah. And Bailey Maupin is now 8 for 8 at the free throw line for the Lady Raiders. And with that 20 points, she has had 9 20.
Well, Utah is such a terrific 3-point shooting team. They have shot 26% today, 7 for 27.
Neepkins banks that one in and draws. Texas Tech will try to get the ball in the hands of, and you can see Utah has 2 players on Bailey Maupin right now.
Yeah, spreading the court right here. Fritz, a great passer, set a screen, get the ball to, in this case, Shavers.
And that's how Krista Gerlich, you saw, orchestrated that, because she could see the 2 defenders on Maupin, and she said to Shavers, you need to make the cut. And that's exactly what happened.
Go get the basketball. Well, a good job by Utah of making somebody else go to the free throw line and make a shot. Jasmine Shavers
She hasn't been to the free throw line yet today, but she is an 85% free throw shooter. And she drains that one.
I really feel like the game yesterday for Texas Tech allowed them to have some momentum coming in today, and maybe having the bye with Utah stopped them from having momentum early in this game, and they just could never get enough momentum after Texas Tech got that big
Pump. This would be a huge win for this program. And a foul called, trying to keep Neepkins from getting the basketball. You don't want to do that if you're mopping, and Texas Tech has no time ran off the clock.
Yeah, well, Texas Tech has tried to get over screens all day long. They have been fighting over the screens, and just not a good decision right there maybe to foul. Again, you couldn't switch on those screens with the lineup you have out there.
And Neepkins makes her first free throw. All Big 12 first teamer and Scholar Athlete of the Year. She's got 23 points.
6 rebounds, 6 assists as well for her today.
She misses the second, and it goes off Utah. So Texas Tech has one timeout remaining. And I believe the officials are going to go take a look to see who actually touched it last before it went out of bounds.
I love that all of the players have the
The
signal
previous
for
play is under review.
for the replay is coming. We'll see it, get a chance to look at this.
Well, it looks like it was off of Jenna Johnson, but was somebody's hand behind it, knocking it away? There she touches it. Now,
Yeah.
Fritz gets her hand on the hand of Jenna Johnson.
Not out there at the moment is that senior, so still a pretty young team. And again, spreading the floor. We've seen this from Iowa State at different times. But you know who's going to get the ball ultimately.
And that was a beautiful play by Maupin. She just looked like a tight end or a wide receiver running a route there, and just came right back to the basketball.
Well, she's such a terrific athlete. I mean, she's worked at being a basketball player, but as you mentioned, you know, a good track athlete, can do a little bit of everything in high school.
And Texas Tech continues to be perfect. You talk about clutch free throws here in the fourth quarter. Texas Tech has made all 14 of their free throws. No timeouts remaining for Utah. Vieta is fouled, and again, that's not what Texas Tech wants to be doing right now.
The really positive thing about this, it always hurts to lose a game like this. And Freeland gets the inbounds pass, so we'll see her at the free throw line.
Utah foul number 22, Jenna
So
Johnson.
Freeland, a 67% free throw shooter. Kyla Freeland has not been to the free throw line yet today. And she continues the perfection for Texas Tech here in the fourth quarter.
All of her players giving her a little bit of love after that made free throw.
She makes both of them.
So can you give me some love here into the night? What a big win for Texas Tech if they can pull this out.
Tipped away, turnover by Utah. And what a game for Texas Tech. After starting 1 of 11 from the field and getting down, they have come back and played from the lead the entire second half. And Texas Tech will win 75-64 and advance to their first quarterfinal since 2019.